Holy shit, Margarette! Welcome to Name of the Show Goes Here, and I really love Hot Wheels since I was a child. They fueled my love for diecast car models to this day. Though nowadays I tend to buy ones based on real cars, I just find them more interesting than their original designs. They're a crapshoot these days. They can be extravagant, grounded, a copy of a real car, or a wheelchair. Don't ask. Here's also a car where you put a GoPro on it. I don't have any Hot Wheels tracks, nor the space to build them, but at least there's video games, a lot of them, since the cover of 64 days. If you're yearning for a review of Unleashed from me, don't. Stunt Track Challenge was developed by Climax and released by THQ on November 2004 for the PC, PS2, and Xbox. If the name Climax sounds familiar to you, don't confuse it with the Runabout guys. This Climax was involved in the port of San Francisco Rush for the PS1 and were responsible for Silent Hill Origins and Shattered Memories. And Splatoon and Scooters apparently. But that's Climax Studios. This game was made by their Brighton team, then known as Climax Racing, who were then bought by Disney 2 years later, renamed to Black Rock Studio, and went on to make Pure and Split Second. Apparently some of you like that latter game. It's just too bad they've been defunct for over a decade. There was also a version for the GBA, which is a 3D game, interestingly enough. It's always fun to see 3D games on a system that isn't suitable for that, but I'm playing the PS2 version. And even just looking at him, I don't like the kid already. The main mode is the game show, hosted by one Ryan Storm. I'll get to him for sure. The show is divided into 6 chapters: Dino Land, Insect Land, Pirate Land, Tiki Land, Space Land, and Hell! Well, it's just called Lava Land, but you couldn't tell, unless your vision of Hell is an office workplace. Each chapter has 2 races, 4 stadium events, and 2 decal collectathons. Yup, there's actually 12 races in total, while most of the challenges take place in the stadiums. First up is the Target Jump Challenge in Dinosaur Jam, and I sucked at it, but I still progressed to the next one. For graphics, they're colorful yet tasteful. Most of the attacks look beautiful. Shout out to the Buccaneer Bay courses with its clear skies and wonderful underwater sections. Tiki Island is good, but I wish it was at sunset instead of night. And Spotty Alley, while I get where they're going with the theme, could have gotten a bit of a color splash. The cars themselves don't look like shit, even with the middling budget visuals. Honestly, can't complain much. Hey, there's a replay feature. It's a shame the overlays don't go away. You're worse than the GT logo. As for audio, great to say the least. Alright engine noises and great feedback for a lot of stuff too. This isn't a hot take or anything, but I despise Ryan Storm. How old is he anyway? Not that that matters because he's so fucking annoying. He keeps telling me to get flames, to drift, avoid bombs, hit the shortcut trigger, and do stunts. And he tells me constantly,
get some flames! Get that trigger to open the secret route! Use your boost! Power slide on this one to hold the road! Use power slide on this one to hold the road!
Not to mention the shears he kept giving me.
Way to go!
And I know someone's gonna call me out for this, but he keeps preferring flips as spins.
A good spin! Spin! Into the spin!
You call this a flip? Honestly, you won't miss much if you mute him.
Into the hall of the mountain spider.
King. As for music, it's pretty alright. Not as generic sounding, it's somewhat catchy. Again, shout out to Buccaneer Bay. Although, whenever you go through the ramp, the music gets muted. I guess it's trying to do what EA Sports did for SSX. It's just something that I noticed doing editing with headphones on.
Through the rigging, nice one!
The driving is great. It isn't very stiff or all over the place for an arcade-style racer. Sure, it's rather understeer, but it can be remedied by using the dedicated drift button, L1 by default. You can also flip, or spin in this case, by holding the left stick to switch directions when jumping off a ramp. A good landing will fill the boost mirror as well as gain points in stadium events. And you can also ski. It isn't useful in the races, but for the stadium challenges, it gives you points after landing, so I try skiing as much as possible there. There's only 12 circuit races, which makes the city events the main deal to me, but I gotta talk about them first. It's your standard 3-lap races, get to the point to progress. Of course, as this is an arcade game, expect crap on the way, like boost paths, jumps, obstacles, flames that increase your boost, branching paths, red patches that slow you down, the works. They're not bad, the AI is pretty forgiving. There can be moments where the first place opponent is way ahead of you and is a bit faster, like what is this, Forza? But it's still possible to get them. And the tracks themselves are typical of a Hot Wheels game, with anti-gravity paths and vertical loops in some tracks.
Into the big loop of the backbone! Yeah, don't look down! down!
It's not that scary. Even if some corners are doozy to go through, even while drifting, I really love the tracks. With the exception of the first Jurassic Jam track, just a simple flat track if we ignore the glass banks, not very Hot Wheels of it. Oh, and you're on a timer, every checkpoint you pass adds time. Well, if it isn't that darn countdown, bah, it's such a pointless feature that makes the game more difficult than it should. Actually it doesn't, I easily ignore it in the races. Back to the stadiums, there's a variety of challenges you have to take to progress, such as the long jump ones. It's like long jumping in stadium athletics, but you drive a car, and have to avoid moving objects and pick up flames to increase your boost. I find these annoying. Getting the flames takes timing and patience. Worse, you're on a timer. Sure, you could just do the challenge without the boost, but I wouldn't advise it. There's the silent jumps, the tower climb, the aforementioned target jumps, the works. Some of these challenge types involve you hitting the center for more points, and sometimes there's bluer targets that offer even more. Honestly, I love these challenges. They're challenging, but in a fun way. However, here's something I don't like. There's these freestyle challenges where you do some random activity the game throws at you, like knock out the barrels and smashing all the dino head's teeth. The one in Buccaneer Bear can fuck right off. Here you have to push balls into the holes like a screwed up version of billiards. Unfortunately, it's really hard to push all of them before time runs out. You can still get the points when it goes to 0, but who in their right mind thought this was a good idea? I have a better chance at getting hit by lightning than getting all the balls in. Fuck this! The car list is small, composed of only Hot Wheels originals, a few less so than others. But there are some recognizable ones like the Zotic, the Muscle Tone, and the 24/7. There's also the Twin Mill, the Diora 2, the Grand Illusion, and the Silhouette in Fatback's form. I used to think this was a throne to Grandy as a child. However, those cars are only available in the stadium challenges and the game breaks, which are deal breakers to me. However, you can customize your cars to your liking. It's limiting, only allowing changes to color, wheels, and decals. But surprisingly enough, you can move them around the car and scale them too. And this was before Forza! Downside, you're only allowed to put one decal per side. Damn it, so close to perfection! Completing a chapter moves you to the next one, obviously. However, earning silver in it will grant you a new car, and gold gives you another. As for everything else, you earn wheels by placing first in the races, and you earn decals by going to the game breaks. The objective here is to drive around sort of open-ended places and collect at least 3 of the 5 items to progress. Yes, the game breaks are a requirement, don't ask. Not terribly hard, but as if the obstacles aren't enough to make you really upset, the timer might. If you want to get all the decals, you'd have to do the break a second time or first restart afterwards. The game is actually short. I earned the gold trophies in all the chapters in over 3 hours. You can actually complete the game in one sitting, but despite that, it's enough for me to enjoy it. There's additional content like arcade mode with split screen and hot seat play, and online multiplayer. Gee, I wonder if the official servers are still up today. I wish my hard drive adapter had an Ethernet port to check that out. So that was HughStack, as I like to call it. Pretty great, if short. It's definitely something your kids will enjoy wasting time on, more so if they're friends with the toys. That is, if they weren't spoiled by Unleashed or Forza already. Next time, whatever the fuck this is.